Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome. As you're coming on, let's get the camera like I want it. There we go. Hey, how you doing today? Kerry Pope here. Just want to share a couple of things with you. So give time for the audience to build. I hope you're having a great Tuesday. Not going to be long at all, but just something that I want to share with you that's really strong in my heart today. Everything comes at a price. Everything in life comes at a price. Okay. You don't get nothing comes for free. So I want to talk real quickly and let the audience build because I'm counseling and coaching and I'm talking to people, and I don't think people are calculating the cost of success. Okay. I don't think that people are calculating how much it costs to be successful. And I'm not talking price tag, okay, because a lot of times we have money, but the sacrifices that you have to make as an individual to be successful, the sacrifices you have to make sometimes with family, friends, loved ones, personal, the sacrifice to look good, the sacrifice to be in shape, the sacrifice of time, everything has a cost. Okay. So as the audience is building, how many of you, and I guess the question I'm going to pose today as we get ready is, how many of you are willing to pay the price for success? Because listen, we're getting ready to launch our summer Abundant Life Path University. And, we do the interviews, we talk the price of tuition. And sometimes people say, oh, wow. And I tell people, life is about investment. You're going to invest in something every day. You may invest in your company that you work in because you're being underpaid and overworked. Okay. I mean, you can say, yeah, Kerry, I can relate to that. I've been underpaid and overworked. You may be not appreciated in your family, and you're doing more than your fair share in your home, and your husband or your wife is not pulling their load. But if you're going to have a successful marriage, there's a price to pay. If you're going to have a successful career, there's a price to pay. Whatever in life it is that you're wanting to do. Okay. And I want to talk to those who say, well, God is going to make the way. He can make the way all day long. I just had a session with someone when I told them that, everything you do in life has a price and everything that comes with a price. But the question is, are you willing to pay that price? Someone said, well, God led me this. God told me to do that. Okay. I'm just being obedient. How many times have you heard someone say, I'm just being obedient, but they didn't ask the question or get clarity from God about what it is that he wants them to do? I'm just being obedient to God. I'm following what God called me to do. But the reality is everything comes at a price. And if you haven't stopped to calculate the cost, it's like certain places you want to eat at. If you don't have the money, what's in your bank account. You know how much it costs to eat there. We don't go. But why is it that when it comes to God, we think that God is always going to make the way versus he makes the way, but you didn't calculate what it's going to cost you as an individual to go on this trip? Here's what someone said to me one time. Kerry, I'm just being obedient because, the Bible says obedience is better than sacrifice. Okay. And I said to them, well, have you ever stopped and questioned this or go a little further? Obedience is better than sacrifice. But what am I sacrificing in order to be obedient? Ponder that thought for a second. If obedience is better than sacrifice, at what cost is my sacrificing or my obedience costing me for sacrifice? If sacrifice is greater, if obedience is greater than sacrifice, then what am I sacrificing in my life to be obedient? Because it's that question that should be answered before you take on any task in life. Okay. Many times we take on a task that we didn't get clarification on. We just said I'm being led by God. And one thing I will say that I do love that the word of God says is, in all of thy getting, get an understanding. Okay. Don't take a faith walk and don't have a clue where you're going. You always should know that I'm going in this direction and it's going to cost me this much. And are you willing to pay the toll that it takes to be successful? So many people are not. So many people are not happy. So many people are not, they're not okay with being true to their emotions. Some of you want to marry because you're tired of being alone, but are you willing to pay the sacrifice that it takes to be married? The compromising, the not having it all your way, having to sometimes, pick your fights. Are you willing to pay the price to work in corporate America where you're going to be overworked and underpaid? Are you willing to pay the price to be an entrepreneur, which means I am going to have to invest in me, which means a lot of times I'm going to do work for free or underpaid because I'm building my success. Everything in life comes at a cost. Everything. Stop thinking that you can get something for nothing. That's one reason why I tell people when there's skin in the game, you take things more seriously than when it's given to you. Can I get amen? When you're given things and you don't have to earn it or work for it, you don't appreciate it. It's like a child at Christmas time saying, I want this toy, and that toy costs a lot of money. And you say, hey, listen, if I get you this toy, you better make sure you play with it. And you give them the toy and they don't play. They don't play with the toy. And next thing you know, it's laying around somewhere because it lost its value. Why am I saying this? Because it came at a cost. But the child couldn't value the cost because it didn't come from their pocket. When you do not have skin in the game, when you haven't paid the cost to be the boss, as James Brown said, then you're basically not taking it as serious as you would if it was your life. Everything comes at a cost. Some of you have these dreams of being successful. When I look back over my life and I look at all the hell that I had to go through just to get to this point in life, just to get to having a few coins in my pocket and feeling decent in my body and looking halfway decent in my appearance, because people think because you look good, you have something. No, there's a lot of broken people who may have money, but they paid a sacrifice internally. And I don't want you to be that person that can't enjoy the blessings of God because you didn't count the cost of that blessing. Okay, I don't know who this is for today. God just led that in my spirit to come on and share. You have to pay the cost. Everything in life has a cost. Your happiness comes at a cost. Your success comes at a cost. You may lose a best friend. You may lose someone in order to be happy. Are you willing to pay that price? I had to look at that. I had to look at myself in the mirror and ask that question. Carrie, you got to where you are because you paid the price. We call it resiliency. I was very resilient and got through. When I looked at my life, I began to see a lot of things that I should have had a nervous breakdown over. Could easily go to jail for hurting someone or retaliating. But it was because of the cost that I paid that success is here and greater success awaits. Bishop Jake says something really key, that you grow into the success that you're supposed to be a part of. Meaning if you have mass success, you have to grow into. You don't just wake up one day and you're successful and you've mastered it. No, you grow into success. I want you to remember that, which means you pay the price on each level. So when people look at you and they judge you, when they look at you and they size you up or give their opinion, they don't know the hell that you've gone through. I had a conversation with a young lady yesterday, and I'll tell you, I thought I had hell that I went through in life. I commend her because not only did she get through it, but she came out with some golden nuggets to live by. So when you think you have it bad, always remember somebody somewhere has it worse. Okay? And it's just like going to school. There are certain things in the class curriculum for your degree that you're working towards. Like I was working for my master's, my business degree. And so there were certain classes that I had to take in the curriculum in order to get my degree in business with concentration in management that I didn't think should have been taken. I didn't think it should have been a part of the course. Guess what happened? It's either you take it, and later on in life, it applies to it in ways you never thought of, because they don't look at the direct thing. They look at the totality of this degree. What are you saying, Carrie? There's some things in your life you don't know why God took you through them. You're questioning God as to what was the purpose of that divorce? What was the purpose of that abortion? What was the purpose of that miscarriage? What was the purpose of me losing my home? What was the purpose of being backstabbed by my best friend? What was the purpose of all of that hurt? It's part of your life curriculum for success. That's why I'm asking, do you want to pay that price? Because success comes at a price. When you see people standing on the platform and they're speaking and you're like, oh my God, they're so great. To be great, you got to go through great trials and tribulations. Nothing comes without a cost. And somebody needed to hear this today. I was minding my business, working on the next workbook for our courses. And God said, I need you to go now, make this video. Somebody needs to hear this right now. Because they're sitting there crying, asking God, why? This makes no sense. Why am I going through this? And God said, because it's part of your destiny curriculum. It's part of your life curriculum for your destiny. Your degree is called destiny. And this is one of the classes that you have to take. Okay? This is not an elective. This is a necessity. This is a core class. Suffering is a core class of success. Failure is a core class of success. Disappointments is a core class of success. Okay? Sleepless nights is a core class of success. And when you stand on that platform and receive your degree of destiny, which means I'm now walking in my purpose and my calling, you can look back and look at all the classes that you had to take. And you can say, this wasn't given to me. I paid the price for this degree. I paid the price. And that's when you can hold your head up in the midst of your haters. That's when you can hold your head up in the midst of those that don't like you, that are very opinionated, because you can say, baby, you were not there when I wanted to take my life, but God said, Death, step back and behave. There's a calling on this person's life. See, they wasn't there when you were homeless. They weren't there when you didn't have any food in the cover. They wasn't there when you had to wear the same clothes, but you changed the top every other day. You had to come home and wash it over and over. See, they don't remember that because they were not a part of that. And so how dare you let them judge you for your success when they were not part of your classes? Ponder that today. Success comes at a cost. The question is, are you willing to pay that price? I am, and I have. And that's why my skin is a little thicker today, because my degree, okay, my degree in peopleology, which means in their opinions and their ways and their gestures, I had to go through those nights. I had to go through the backstabbing. I had to go through the ones you thought would be in your corner were actually the ones that were using all of your secrets against you to be your demise and bring you down to nothing. I guess my live chat is off. I'm not seeing any comments, and I'm sure people are commenting. It's not that. I just want to make sure that it's working right, because somebody had to hear. This was one of those measures of wording that God gave me. It was a desperate measure that this person, whoever you are, needed to hear this, because you were about to make a decision that was not going to be in your best interest, because you're frustrated with the various courses of life that you have to take. You said, God, you promised me this and you promised me that. That's the degree. But he didn't tell you the price you had to pay to get to it. See, what I tell people all the time is God shows you the starting line, he shows you the finish line, but he never shows you what you got to go through to get to it. That's the price you have to pay. And like any race, it starts with a lot of people, but it ends with a few. That's the same in your life. You may start with a lot of people in your corner, but when you get to that level of success, most of the times the ones that started with you don't finish with you. And that's okay. Sometimes friendship comes at a cost of success. Sometimes your relationship comes at a cost for success. So I don't want you crying over spilt milk. I don't want you crying over what you lost or the price you had to pay. As much as I don't like gasoline being the price that it is, if I want to drive my car, I got to pay that price. And you know what I found out? Watch this and I'm gone. When I made up my mind that I'm going to drive my car, God always made sure that my bank account had the money necessary to pay the price or whatever it cost. So I will pull up to the pump, and I didn't just put in $3. I will fill it up because I had the ability to do so, because my mind was made up that whatever it costs to do this, that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys, I love you. Blessings and abundance to you. Rebecca be on later on with her daily challenge, but I had to come on right now for whoever you are that had to hear this. And please, in the comment section, say, Carrie, thank you, because that was me you were speaking to. Because I know obedience now. I know how to be obedient to God, and God told me to make this video for someone who is at an immediate crossroad and was about to make a bad decision. Count up the cost, all right, and be willing to pay whatever it takes, because success comes at a cost. Take care, guys. Talk to you later now. Bye-bye.